Hi, everybody. My name's James Beswick. I'm a developer advocate here at Stripe, and I'm joined today by Anna Andras, who is a solutions architect. Anna, welcome. How are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you.
So, what are some of the benefits of using embedded financial systems within your platform?
So financial services are actually very sticky products and services. If you think the last time you changed your bank, you will realize that it's not something that you do very often. So once you embed the service, like something like money movement, into a product, it tends to stay around for a while. Companies that have embedded financial services tend to have 3.5 more customer retention than those that do not. And it tends to bring actually up to six times increase in revenue.
How do you think this can be used to enhance the overall customer service?
So it is very important because the initial adding movement into your product, what happens is that it is likely that your product has a score service. And then to actually be able to gain from that, like taking revenue, like paying other people, etc., you will require technology and a solution that does for you. So if you do it seamlessly, not only you are helping yourself to get money, you get paid faster, but you are actually helping your customer to actually be able to do it in an easy way that lets them get rid of their debt quicker or pay their bills quicker.
And so, you can use this to create new revenue streams for your business.
Definitely. Because what you could do is you think about it is it is convenient, it adds value. If it adds value, you could be charging a little bit more for it. And in that charging a little bit more, in that margin that you make is when you're going to start coming with a little bit more revenue to your company.
So, what sort of strategies have you seen work effectively in this model?
So they are different things. There are companies that basically do not monetize and they simply add it because they know that the stickiness is what they're looking for and it's a complement to their business. So they just simply add, say, payments or money transfers, etc., inside the products. There are other companies that they have a very strategic view on this and they actually know that they have a large platform and they could actually get revenue from articulating payments on their platform. And then they think this is strategically and they can actually leverage their large ecosystem to earn more money. And there are other companies that think even farther longer term, which is, okay, I'm not just basically allowing people to pay or to move money around, but I'm going to start thinking about what if my platform was also holding treasury, holding funds, and even storage. Will this something like generate interest that I could be earning on, et cetera, et cetera. So it depends on what level of maturity you are on this path.
I know you work with a lot of companies, so it's a very big question, but I wonder if you can distill it down to just a couple of best practices you can recommend to developers who are using embedded financial services for the first time.
Okay. So the first thing is know well your product. You have to understand that adding just financial services onto the product is not going to make it much better. As in, it's adding an extra service, but it's not the core of, you will never be the core of the product unless you are either Stripe or back. So you need to have a good proposition and a good reason why you're adding these extra services. The second thing I would say is understand what is the business model that you want to support, because there are multiple ways of engaging. So you would have, for instance, like marketplaces. So how you actually be the mediator between providers and your customers. But you also have the SaaS model, which basically you are transparent. You are just selling software to the final customer, which is a business, not a consumer. And then the consumers basically just have the possibility to pay through your software or to move money through your software and to those that are actually using that software to business. So they are completely different business models and you need to understand well which one you want to go for.
Now, you and I work with a lot of developers, so what are some of the resources or places you say where they should start first when they're trying to learn all of this?
So there's not such a book of do this or do that, but most developers might have some idea on how they want to operate and companies they would like to, the model of a company that they want to replicate. So my first call for action would be do that research, look for those companies you think they operate the way you want and do deep research on what the journey was. And sometimes online, you can find a lot of resources regarding what the journey has been and try to learn from their mistakes so that you don't have, you can jump onto the position where you want to be.
Can you give us a couple of examples of industries or sectors where this has been really successful?
So the evolution of retail has been super interesting, but in retail, specifically marketplaces have been evolving for the last 10 years. And the platforms have become very specialized in doing services on top of just delivering goods. And amazingly, some companies like Shopify, they make as much money, if not more, of the financial services that they offer in their basically marketplace partners than actually the core service that they're doing, which is, servicing like retail customers. So that's one. But you could also think that some other SaaS companies like Xero is a very good one, where you started by doing accounting and then, okay, well, we're doing accounting. Should we just be, hooking, invoicing, and allowing people to pay? So that SaaS model also is very, very successful, where you have added all the financial services on top for simple accounting service.
What sort of data and analytics can customers capture when they're using embedded financial services?
Well, a lot.
Mm.
And it is because absolutely all the money movement goes through you. So you can start profiling your customers' behavior and understanding what kind of habits in terms of payments or what kind of money flows go through your system. Of course, the larger you are, the better you can actually model those, and more successful you will be at targeting, for instance, marketing or targeting measures of protection for risk, for instance, and things like that.
Now, obviously, when you work with lots of companies, you realize how fast changing this entire market is. How, as a user, can you make sure that you're staying relevant and up to date with all of the changes in this space?
Well, I would say technology-wise, do choose a good technical partner. Of course, I would recommend Stripe, because we would do the deep hard work of making, being up to date on the technology side. It's important that a partner like Stripe is not just being in the technology. So being on Stripe allows you to fundamentally be compliant. Compliance and regulations can change. You don't want to be caught up with that. If you rely on the platform that is actually doing that for you, we will make you compliant. We'll make sure that you continue to be compliant moving forward. Then you don't know in 10 years what other business models will exist. You want to have something flexible, technology that is flexible, that's giving you APIs, that's give you the products and the partners and the financial services that actually can be able to support that. So that's critical. And I would say keep on reading, keep on looking around, try to be innovative, try to with new combinations of business models. You never know. Maybe you're going to be the next Uber. Who knows?
Well, Ada, that's really insightful. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to talk us through this fascinating subject. And for more learning resources, don't forget to take a look at stripe.dev and subscribe to our YouTube channel.